My name is Sofia Castro. I am 18 years old. I'm currently living in Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, and I'm studying clinical psychology at Tec de Monterrey. Uh-huh. One of the reasons I chose this career is because I find very interesting knowing about how your mind works and diagnosing behavioral disorders. It is, though, a very demanding career in which you have to be very responsible. About travel, yes. Last year I visited in the summer the city of Montreal, Canada. It was an amazing experience due to the fact that I learned about Canadian culture but also Irani because my homestay family was from Iran. I also went to Niagara Falls the same summer and get the chance to practice my French more. Uh-huh. I have been studying English since first grade of elementary school, and in high school I entered the multicultural program where all my classes were mostly in English. In my summer exchange to Montreal, I've also got the opportunity to improve my English because it was a bilingual city. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to start my own research in the psychology subject and in a few years having my own department in a hospital. My hobbies. Well, my main hobby is dancing. I approximately spend 30 hours per week doing it. I'm also the president of the Student Federation, and we spend a lot of time planning events for Tec de Monterrey. In a recent survey of franchise business, more than 75% of companies said they were planning new international projects. This is partly explained by basic economic trends, says Scott Laird, Vice President of Development for the International Franchise Association. As Western business cope with tight lending markets and a weak economy, many emerging economies have strong consumer demand, as well as investors with plenty of capital. Lair says, increased international travel plus cheaper, easier communication technologies have facilitated international deals. When a lucrative overseas deal suddenly emerges, it is important that companies' owners do not lose their heads, says William Edwards, CEO of Edwards Global Services. You have to look at where it makes sense to go, not just where there's a deal, says Edwards. Think of this as an investment, because you'll be spending resources in terms of time, support, and actual costs. The first thing any company considering a foreign franchise agreement should do is secure the brand's trademark, says Edwards. An important meeting I attended was in the city of Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. It was important because we were all selected by Tec de Monterrey as presidents of the Student Federation. So there was a representative from Chihuahua, from Guadalajara, from Hermosillo, and I was the one from Obregón. We talked about the planning process for the Student Federation and all the events that we were going to do. I would say that a very important moment for me and interesting in that meeting was when everyone had the chance to stand up and talked about their ideas and creative ways to get to students feel a part of the tech community, and that was an amazing meeting. The graph shows the comparison between last year and this year's company promotional spend. First, we see that the point of sale displays plunged from £30,000 to £15,000. In the second section, we see that magazine advertisements rocketed from £14,000 ending at £50,000, making it very successful. A very similar effect occurred on our last bars. The promotional spend on leaflets at health spas, sport events, etc. surged from £9,000 to £35,000, making it also a very successful sale for these years compared into the last year's sales. Speaking of studies and jobs, what I enjoy most about the career I chose, that is clinical psychology, is that I get to know how the human brain works and why people behave the way they do. If I could say that I dislike something, it will be the amount of homeworks and projects we have to do. As I mentioned before, it is a very demanding career, so that's what I kind of dislike. I think one of the most valuable skill that I have in the subject is my ability to empathize with the patient. I would like to acquire the skill of understanding science better. Sometimes I find it very complicated. The job that I will think will suit me better is having my own consulting room in a hospital because I think it's the right environment to apply the job as a psychologist.